and pass over county lines into Fannin in short order. We not only have that one on the board, but then Oglethorpe County, you're under a severe thunderstorm warning. The heart of the storm is now just moving into Wilkes County to your east as it crosses over the river there. Nonetheless, the National Weather Service is a bit concerned. Lexington, you're not in that warning. That goes until 7:15. And then we're also watching this cluster of storms now moving into the northernmost portions of Carroll County. Temple, Villa Rica, get ready for some heavy downpours. I think it will also make an assault on Douglasville, crossing over Veterans Memorial Parkway, probably within the next 5 minutes. Will it meet the I-20 corridor? Well, it's been sitting in place. If it does, expect heavy rain, downpours, and potentially some small pockets of hail, along with some gusty winds. As you can see here, the coast is not clear, and it's not going to be clear anytime soon. We could have another round of severe storms tomorrow. Through it all, the heat is hanging tough all the way through Saturday, and then it looks like there could be a break on Sunday, but more storms. We'll take a look at your 7-day forecast coming up on the news tonight at 10.
Jonathan, thanks. Rescue efforts continue in Venezuela more than a week after devastating earthquakes hit the country. The 7.2 and 7.5 quakes destroyed tens of thousands of buildings across northern Venezuela. More than 2,200 people were killed and at least 11,000 are injured. There is little good news. Rescuers pulled a security guard alive from a collapsed basement 8 days after the disaster. Teams kept the 43-year-old alive by passing food and water through a shaft as they worked to remove the concrete.
Hope is still intact, and we will insist on searching for people alive under the rubble.
Military design, for one thing, is to win in battle. That's what we're designed for. But when we can take those same capabilities and actually help people.
This week, the Trump administration announced it's increasing its aid funding to more than $300 million. Iran's military has warned all oil tankers to use their approved routes or face a, quote, forceful response. It's the latest test of the ceasefire that was supposed to begin with a complete reopening of the Strait of Hormuz. The new warning follows 2 days of indirect talks in Qatar between the U.S. and Iran. President Trump says his focus is on Iran's nuclear program. The Iranians and Vice President J.D. Vance say denuclearization will be addressed in the next round of talks. But now Iran says it wants to retain control.
The sovereignty over the Strait of Hormuz and its management is with Iran.
If they try to rebuild that nuclear program, if they refuse to let inspections in, then obviously the president still has a lot of options on the table.
Iran's top negotiator confirmed today his country will allow UN nuclear inspections to resume, but severely restricted where they will take place. The next round of talks will take place sometime after next Thursday. The couple who got engaged at the top of the Empire State Building left court this morning. Today, a judge granted Ivan Birkus and Angela Nicolau a supervised release after their court appearance. They're charged with criminal mischief, reckless endangerment, violation of local law, possession of burglars' tools, criminal tampering, among other things. They're also incredibly brave and talented to climb up that building outside. New York police arrested them after they climbed the 1,400-foot building. The incident started yesterday around noontime, and once they reached the top, the masked duo raised a flag that read, "When the power of love beats the love of power, the world knows peace." Then they started to come down, and one of them proposed to the other on a spire platform. NYPD confirms both individuals were arrested after helicopters swarmed that spire and officers climbed to the top themselves.
Into the Fox 5 Storm Center, we have another round of severe thunderstorm warnings breaking into the state line from South Carolina. That is for Stevens County. These are the easternmost sections. Also Franklin County, Livonia, Royston, all included there. And then the entirety of Hart County. Hart will get ready. Heavy thunderstorms along with some pretty robust downpours are slowly moving over the lake there. And I think there's going to also be some very high winds. We're talking about wind gusts that could top some 60 miles an hour. I don't see a really present hail threat, but once again, the atmosphere is very buoyant. I'll be tracking this throughout the remainder of the hour as it will likely go until 7:45.
All right, kid. Flo Balogun was hit with a red card that caused tons of controversy on if it was not warranted or not. Here's manager Mauricio Pochettino giving his thoughts on the decision of the red card.
For me, never is a red card. Watching after on TV and never was the intention to to step up of the player. That was a normal action in football that happened because by accident, and it's never intentional. That is why for me it's never red card.
With the 4th of July holiday weekend upon us, things are heating up, especially at Echo Park Speedway as it gears up for the Quaker State 400. Next Sunday at 7 p.m., our Kelly Price caught up with RFK Racing Ryan Preece today as he looks ahead to another one under the lights in Hampton.
How excited are you to kind of be in Atlanta and getting ready for that race week coming up?
Yeah, well, Atlanta is definitely one of the most intense races on our schedule this year, just because, you know, we got Daytona, we have Talladega, and then we have Atlanta, just as far as that style of racing. So it's going to be a hot one, but certainly one I'm happy that's going to be under the lights.
Yeah, and talk about that too, because even though it is under the lights, the fact that it's just so hot, and I don't think that's letting up, you know, in the next week or so. How much does that change your preparation going into that?
Well, it's definitely warmer in the race car than it is in the stands, but that's just kind of what we sign up for as race car drivers. It can be anywhere from 125 on a good day to a bad day being 140. And,
wow.
Yeah, wow is definitely the way it is. But you know, I love it. You know, Atlanta, it's definitely become one of our favorites on the schedule, and I feel like for race fans, you know, when you show up, you usually want to get to your seat and sit down. There's not going to be any sitting down.
Talk about how this track has changed over the last couple of years since the repave and the reconfiguration and everything. How is it different now than when you guys first raced on it that way?
Well, usually on a new repave, there's a bunch of grip. It's just really fast. It's kind of just throw your car wherever. Well, now with it being 1.5 miles and trying to keep that skinny pedal to the right down the entire time, it's weathered from how hot it is in the summers here, and that asphalt baking, and then there's bumps and just a lot of challenges that we deal with. And you know, when you have moments where you have to let off the throttle and try to get your car back under control, it creates opportunity for passing, and that's what's made it so exciting.
It's going to be a hot one in that car, huh?
Yeah, but not 140.
That's unbelievable.
We need a fact check on that one. We'll see you tonight at 10. Thanks for being here.
My mom.
Hey everybody, welcome to The Pulse. I'm Tom Haynes, joined by Kelly Price and radio and media personality Miss Shainika with Streets 94.5.
Yes.
Welcome back to you.
Thanks for having me.
Good to have you here. Let's go beyond the headlines as we do every night at 7 o'clock. Take a look at some of the stories that have you talking. Tonight, almost the 4th of July, right? Just a couple of days away now. So what are you throwing on the grill, guys? We're going to talk about that. Apparently, people have forgotten the rules when it comes to RSVPing. Is RSVPing still even a thing?
Yes.
I guess so. And it's the end of an era for gamers who still buy physical video games. Boy, I feel old now. I had an Atari, okay?
Oh.
That's how old I am. Space Invaders. We'll talk about that coming up. But first, Team USA has advanced to the round of 16 in the World Cup. Did you guys see the Fan Fest last night? It was just like
incredible,
on fire.
As it has been every night, it seems.
Right? Yeah, but especially last night. They're going to be without one of their top scorers, though. Flo Balogun received a controversial red card. A straight red card means that he was pulled out of the game at the 64th minute. The Americans then played a man down, so only 10 players on the pitch there. Balogun will face a game suspension. That means he cannot play against Belgium in the next knockout round. From his teammates to the team manager, everyone has cried foul over this call, saying that it was unintentional, not a flagrant act of violence. Team USA did beat Bosnia-Herzegovina 2-0 last night in Santa Clara. They will take on Belgium Monday night in a match that you can watch right here on Fox 5. So Kelly, I guess I'll go to you first. You know, people weighing in. Merriam-Webster, of all.
You know it's bad if the dictionary is like,
they're right on it. That was not the definition of a. Even the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, feels like we got ripped off. What do you say about that call?
I mean, how much time do we have? Because I could go on probably for the rest of the 30 minutes of this show about how I feel, and I think about how a lot of Americans feel about this being just not the right call for a lot of reasons. And I think one of the biggest reasons is, one, it's not a red card in this situation. VAR is the kind of instant replay they have in soccer, this is not the correct use of that. They are supposed to use that for many other situations, but this situation was a purely incidental situation. He didn't mean or have any intent to step on the ankle of the Bosnia-Herzegovina player, and that's kind of the problem here, is that there's supposed to be an intent when you have a red card. There's supposed to be malice, and if you look at the way he's just kind of falling, it looks so bad in slow motion, and when you still image it, which is what the VAR does, but that's not what you're supposed to use VAR for.
The time does definitely not match the crime here.
It does not.
A lot of people are
Great way to
saying,
put it.
like conspiracy theory. Something's
Okay.
going on.
Well, this is what I'm going to say. I don't know a lot about soccer, but he is a fine, well-built man, and I would love to see him on my TV screen. So it is a shame that he won't be.
Yeah, and it's a shame for the U.S. team because this is a guy who's led them in scoring, has really been a catalyst for them to get to this point, and now they're going to be facing elimination in this game. Yeah, they're going to have 11 guys on the field. They finished this game with 10 because that's what happens when you get a red card during the game. They'll have 11 in the next game, but Folarin Balogun won't be one of them, and he's been their most important piece.
I don't know a ton about Balogun, but how critical is he to their success in the next round?
He's huge. He's scored virtually all of their goals. He's been the biggest reason why they've gotten to this point. Like I said, he's been a catalyst on offense for them. He really makes that engine go, and it's going to be really tough to score goals without him, especially against Belgium, which is a team they lost to 5-2 during the friendly season in the lead up to this World Cup.
I just want to send him hugs and kisses through the TV.